Hello, BSN here from Game Wishes with How to Play Snail Solitaire. That's right, this game comes to us from Solitaire by David Parlett, and while it's a pictorial solitaire with the odds in favor, you can set it up however you like. You are, after all, the Carl Malone of setting up your table alone. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to need to take our jacks, 5s, and 6s out of 2 decks of cards. You'll need 2 decks. Take those out and go ahead and piece them together. And you're going to start building a swirling pattern with the 5s, followed by the 6s, followed by the jacks. Now, the jacks aren't relevant to this game at all, so if you want to throw them out and set up in a different pattern, you could. But what you wouldn't have is you wouldn't have this swirl that looks like a snail, according to some people. You're going to deal 4 cards face up to form a reserve. Cards can be played from the draw pile, discard, or the reserve. Any vacancies in the reserve will be filled immediately, and they'll be able to be played on the 5s or the 6s. In the 5s, we're building down in suit, all the way down to ace, followed by the king. And in the 6s, we're building up in suit, skipping the jacks, going from 10 to queen. So the ace will wrap around the king. There will be 2 redeals for this game, and of course any vacancies in the reserve will be filled by the next card available on the waste pile. So if you don't have a card on the waste pile, just the top card of the draw pile. Other than that, pretty simple game, odds in favor. Your chances of losing this are very slim. If you want more difficulty, maybe make it to where you only have 3 cards in the reserve, maybe 2 cards in the reserve, maybe 1 card reserve plus your waste pile. I played this yesterday incorrectly with just without the reserves, just the waste pile and the 2 redeals, and it actually became somewhat odds against. So if you want a real challenge, don't use the 4-card reserve at all, and just go from there. Pretty simple solitaire, great time burner, absolutely unnecessary bother to even take the jacks out. If anything, you should take the queens out and just play it up that way, but you do need this cool pictorial, so I guess they wanted the jacks. That was the way it was written up. Hey, I'm just following directions. I'm not trying to recreate this game, but I noticed this game had not been covered anywhere online, and I couldn't even find a good online source, so I had to go ahead and place the picture of the rules from from Mr. Parlett's Solitaire book, and that way you'd have some reference in case you misunderstood me for any reason. Anyways, very simple game. I put 2 coins out to signify how many redeals I had left. There's something about playing these solitaires with specific numbers of redeals that after you've played enough solitaire games, enough different solitaire games, you tend to start getting the rules congealed together, and you forget which game has which features and which ones do not. And so to save me, I always put coins down for however many redeals I have, and each time I do a redeal, I take one out, and that way I know not to go any further. So this game, pretty good game. Your chances of losing it are pretty slim to none with the 4 cards in the reserve. Like I said, if you want a more difficult game, play without the 4-card reserve and instead play with just your waste pile and your 2 redeals, and that will make a much tougher game for you. So we just had our first redeal. We'll put 1 coin to the side, and we'll continue going. And we will now need an ace of spades to wrap the king around. We have both king of spades there. So we know where they are. That gives us a good chance to figure out when we want to play certain cards from our reserve to the foundations. And other than that, just a pretty simple game. And obviously today we're parodying Chef John from foodwishes.com. I gotta say, I don't really cook myself. Not that I can, not that I lack the ability to cook. It's just my wife does such a better job than me that I've totally given up on the idea of ever cooking ever again, because the times I have, I feel like I'm getting judged pretty harshly on technique. I'm one of those people that just follows the recipe exactly because I want to know what the chef intended, and if I mess it up in any way, it won't be my fault because, hey, the chef wrote the recipe this way. Which means my food's probably not the best seasoned, because I follow their exact guidelines on how many grams and how much tablespoons of a specific seasoning they want. So because of that, I've really lost my ability in touch and cooking, which I never had much of one anyways compared to her, which has been a great blessing in my life. So there we go. We're getting down, and we have everything done, so we won. So yay! And like always, if you actually like to play some card games out in public that aren't solitaires, come to our subreddit card game meetups. Post your city in a public place in that city that you'd actually like to play some games. Do check out our show more under the description to find links to other card game channels that I enjoy, as well as a link to a Discord server where people talk about card games all day, every day. It's a fun place. Maybe you'll meet new friends there. You never know. You should jump on there and talk. Do call up your friends and let them know that you'd like to play some cards. They might say yes and they might say no, but you never know until you call. It could be a good thing to call your friends every once in a while. Do like, subscribe, and share these videos with those same friends that you tried to call. Do vote in this month's Game of the Month poll. And I want to thank today's musicians, and I will see everybody next video.